welcome to our Veterans Day Gala celebration. We're honoring the service and sacrifice of American veterans, the Circle of Friends for American Veterans. Now, you could have been anywhere this evening. In Washington, D.C., you could have been a dozen different places. But we all chose to be right here. November 11th, 2010, Veterans Day. This is going to be a night we'll always remember. Now let me start with the good news here. A lot of you know me, quite a few know me. There's no bad news, okay? I'm not going to be talking a lot tonight. Hey, all right, I knew. Tom Birch does me well, member of the board of directors, applauded that line. We're going to be looking at a short video honoring veterans, and then we're going to be spotlighting the champions for veterans in the 112th Congress. I know that we all support American veterans, but we're going to be spotlighting and highlighting with the records and the photographs of the go-to members, the ones we can count on in this new 112th Congress. And I also expect that we're going to have a dialogue back and forth here a little bit too. So I see a lot of new faces, which is always a good thing. How about the hands of all those who are here at the Circle of Friends reception the first time? Okay, guys, every one of those people get a free raffle ticket. Keep your hands up. Caleb, John, you're in charge. Everybody gets a free raffle ticket. There you go. I'm always pouring something. At a certain point, you'll get a free raffle ticket. Most popular part of our program.
Keep your hand up for an hour.
All right, let's find out how everybody got the word here. How many people were called on the phone once? Well, how many people were called on the phone twice? How many people came because they wanted to stop the phone call? Okay, there's some more. There you go. See some more. How many people received one meal? How many two? How many three? To stop the awful direct mail. So thanks very much for joining us. Let me ask you this, and this is a give me, I suppose. How many came here tonight to celebrate American veterans? All right. So you came to the right place. You definitely. This is a magnificent crowd. It's a federal holiday. I'm kind of reminded of when we used to meet in the old Quality Inn here with Gene, by the hands of the people who remember those days.
Oh, yeah.
Then Philip Check. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
We're hoping you're going to be our designated heckler tonight. There's always competition for that. There we go. I'm kind of reminded. The Circle of Friends has had 200 rallies around the country. I've had the privilege of introducing a couple hundred members of Congress. We've had 40 or 50 there at the Quality Inn in Ojima. But it was a very small room. It was the size of like a postage stamp. And the mentality was, and we've been at this 18 years, where you take a small room and fill it. And this room held some Jim Robinson and Ben and some other remember this. This room held maybe 35 people. Well, one night we had a congressman speaking. We had, over a period of time, we had one rally every month for 12 years. And I saw the congressman coming in, trailing a couple aides, and we only had like 15 people in the room. Those were the olden days. And I knew exactly what was going through his mind. And I marched up to him. I wanted to tell him how lucky he was to speak to 15 people. You got to be pretty clever to do that. Before I said, Congressman, And he peeked around the corner like that, and he said, "Is that it?" And I said, "Congressman," I said, "for every person you see here tonight, by noon tomorrow, there'll be 100 people that know you were here and know exactly what you said." He looked around the corner and said, "Is this it?" Congressman Van Hillary from Tennessee. And then he went on. I'm kind of reminded because we had a great turnout. We had a couple more rows up there. And then later on, the congressman said to the audience, he said, "You know, I think this is the smallest audience I've ever spoken before." And he ran for the Senate, he didn't win. Gosh darn. But this is by way of contrast to the turnout we have on Veterans Day here, 2010. We had a very intrepid outreach team. I'd like to have you, as I call out your name, stand and remain standing until the final person. If you could stand up when I mention your name, remain standing. Patrice Furlow, if you could stand up, please. I think there you are in the back. John A. Wilson, stand up, you're there in the back. Becky Truesdale, where's Becky? Taking care of business. And back from Afghanistan, where he served in the field artillery, Captain Terrell Gibbons. I think he's here this evening. I heard a rumor that he's here. Is Maurice here tonight? John? Maurice? Good. All right. Well, back in Veterans Headquarters, we have a Veterans Wall of Fame. And in May, when we met, I pointed out that this individual had his picture on the wall 2 times, such as his fame. And now his picture is on the wall 4 times, the Veterans Wall of Fame. Senior member of our board of directors, Maurice Lovett. The guy's unstoppable, unstoppable. And sitting in the front row, he leads from the front, Special Forces Major, Vietnam veteran, Tom Birch, member of the board of directors. Deborah Smith, member of the board of directors. Where are you? If the AV guys are with us, we're going to have a